What the fuck?
How's it going, guys? And welcome back for, well, a different video. I think it's about time that we go ahead and make a 2021 base layout. That's right. Today we are going to release not one schematic, but 4 different schematics on different sizes, which are hopefully useful for a lot of you guys. But alright, let's go ahead and dig straight into it. We're gonna shortly talk about the base layout, and then we're gonna jump over to the counter so you guys can get an idea of what that looks like. The gap you see right here is for the obsidian wall. We're going to have one single obsidian wall, and then we're going to have, of course, our check walls right here. The reason we have 3 of those is that if you accidentally patch inside a sand wall, that sand might not go down, but the chances of you making obsidian patches in 3 different walls on exactly the same Y level is close to impossible. Next to the check walls, we have obsidian walls with the cut in it that goes all the way in. Next to that, we have an ocean, which goes all the way through where the base is, all the way over there. But alright, this right here is the ocean. It is inside an obsidian box, and I do suggest making pillars when as soon as you've done your ocean, make pillars up so it's easier to patch. But this right here is at least the obby box for it. Then we have a sand wall, and then we pretty much just have the same system. We have a chunk of sand, chunk of normal walls, then a sand wall. This right here is the color, so you can call out to your teammates how far they are in. But yeah, that is the system all the way in. We have sand wall, we have normal walls all the way in. We start from green, we go to yellow, and all the way over here we are red when you're only 2 chunks away. The buffer is 20 chunks. And let's go and take a look at the first counter. This is where that is located, about 3 chunks away from the first wall. The reason we have it that close is so you don't actually have to mine a lot of walls to get out. I did make it a little bit easier with the slits right here made out of cobble. I do suggest slime blocks, but I think the cobble right here is going to represent where you're going to need your cuts. This right here is only 1 counter. We do have another one all the way over here, but as you can see, the cuts doesn't go through all the way to the end of the base because the cannon is most likely going to be built here, and you're going to be able to shoot out here and shoot all the way out like that. Behind every single counter, we have a trap or a safe room, so and call. And if you go further in, we have the base, and this version right here is a 10x10. Then we have an 8x8, 6x6, and 4x4 up here. And that is pretty much the layout of the base. There's not really much more into it. I tried to make it as simple as possible because I do know a lot of servers does not allow anti-nukes, finster walls, and stuff like that. And most, if not all, servers allow 1 chunk ocean, so we should be good on that one. Some servers doesn't allow an X amount of walls onto your counter, and that might be the only issue with this because we do have a counter that is quite far in right here. So we have about, let me see, like half a buffer on this counter, so that might be an issue if you're playing on a server that doesn't allow that, but I kind of doubt it. But yeah, that is pretty much everything about the base. Let's go ahead and dig into the counter. The counter is a modified version of a cannon that I have already released. It's designed in a way that makes it quite small and be able to actually fit within your walls in pretty much any box. It's used a total of 360 chunks and can adjust up to 20 chunks, so you shouldn't have any issues whatsoever using these cannons because you can literally float to the end of your entire buffer with this cannon right here. Over here we have the web bus nuke, which are going to make your holes in their walls 5 wide instead of 3 wide, which is a huge advantage definitely when you're countering. But overall, the cannon is really simple to use, and as you can see, it is actually built in a way that makes it extremely easy to get a hang of, so you shouldn't worry about not being able to understand the cannon. The button can be found down here, and this right here is the lever if you allow a clock. The cannon speed at the moment is set to 3 seconds. However, you can just add a little bit of repeaters to this to make it 4 seconds if that is the rule on your server. To make this cannon fit within pretty much any cannon box, what we did was that we slimmed in the sand compression. As you can see, it doesn't really fill a lot, and that's the entire reason we can make it this small. Over here we have the power, and it is a quick print and easy to build or rebuild or whatever. I do assume that people are going to get into your counter throughout the map. So it was made in a way that's going to make everything easy to build. The power, as you can see, is quite big, and that is because we do need it to go ahead and shoot extremely far for a counter. Taking a look at the barrel, it is pretty simple. We're using a staircase right here, which means we are game ticking most of our stuff, including our boosters and so on, but you don't have to worry about that. All you have to worry about is filling the cannon, watering it correctly, and go ahead and press the button. There is no hidden compartment where you have to remember to water. Just make sure you water these right here at the power. We have one at the sand compression as well over here, as well as under the carpet in the sand compression. It's very important that you go ahead and water that. Other than that, we kind of have the normal places. We have one in the booster here, over there, and most of all, make sure you go ahead and water this hammer over here as well. Everything else is pretty much watered when you go ahead and place water buckets up here, so you shouldn't really have to worry about watering it that much. It will be easy to see if you guys are making any mistakes whatsoever. These counters right here fit within the box on every single of these layouts right here, and once you have it built, you should be able to go ahead and use the slits right there to actually shoot out. Now, one way you can do it is you can build one counter right here that goes this way and out that way. The next one can be over here. You can have this counter, let me find it, here we are, to go that way and further out in case that somebody's building a cannon all the way out here, adjusting all the way over here to get into your base. Now, we are using a counter that cannot adjust right and left because there's a lot of servers out there that says you can't have more than an X amount of counters on your base design and so on and so on. So we made a pretty simple counter cannon that shoots only one way. So you might have to, if you want to go ahead and cover everything, have the first counter right here shoot out this way, and then the next counter all the way over here do the exact same without flipping it and shooting over here in case somebody builds, as I said, all the way out here where there's no walls and adjusting all the way over. But that is pretty much it, guys. This right here is the 2021 base layout, and I'm pretty sure I didn't miss anything. I do know there's a lot of things that I could add, as well as anti-nukes and stuff like that, but a lot of it is actually not allowed on a ton of servers. But I do suggest adding anti-nukes on your walls if it's allowed on your server. It's pretty easy to go ahead and add that. Let's go and imagine that this right here is your walls. You have a 2 gap, and then you just simply do it like this. If you do it like this, then the water would actually be able to go ahead and flow through this. So I'm going to show you guys what I mean. You'll be able to hit that one, go down, and pretty much water everything in between, as you can see right here. But yeah, that's just a simple way to add anti-nukes. If you do want to go ahead and do that, just make sure that it's actually allowed on your server. But there you go, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you smash that like button, comment down below, and of course subscribe to my channel. And if you haven't yet joined your daily dose of Dexter, go ahead and click the bell right now to get a notification every single time that I upload. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day. Stay safe in this COVID-19 period, and I'll see you guys next video.